We tend to see that, actually. We tend to see that. That drivers get that damage and then they're in a real bind about whether to fix the front wing or not. So we will see what happens. Professor saying Hulkenberg is out. You're correct. Hulkenberg has gone into the pits. What's going on? Box to retire the car. Hulkenberg is retired, everyone. Nico Hulkenberg is retired, and hopefully that's not going to be an issue for the state car as well. So as I see it, the cars are pulling up. You're going to be ahead of me. So I will catch up with you in just a little bit. But Nico Hulkenberg does indeed pull into the pits. That is very significant because they've done all of the installation laps. And Nico Hulkenberg got his first podium in his career at Silverstone, which was incredible to see. Unfortunately crashes down to earth here and does box to retire the car. That shouldn't affect the start procedure, and as I see it, the cars are still lining up, and Hadjar and Gasly dive into the pit, so Liam Lawson will be the last car on the grid. Okay, so there wasn't... The curse of Monza continues with cars pulling off on the formation lap. Okay, as I see it, the cars are on the grid. The marshal with the green flag walks across and waves it. Walks past the whole grid. The lights will go off. 1 red light, 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. How is it going to look at the front as the lights go out? Is it a good start from Verstappen? Is he going to chop across? He does chop across. But Lando's kind of there. It's neck and neck. Lando's with a great start. Lando on the grass. Lando all the way on the grass. Lando's going to turn in first here. Verstappen is the one that cuts the corner. As I predicted, corner cuts. And it is Verstappen, and Piastri's lost out here massively to Charles Leclerc. Verstappen's going to be under scrutiny for cutting that corner. So out of the first corner, it's Verstappen, Lando, Charles Leclerc sensationally, and then Oscar Piastri. Lando tries to go around the outside of Verstappen into the second chicane. Not going to happen. So Piastri's a loser here. Piastri's lost out. Now Piastri's got to try and get past the Ferrari. Tries to go around the outside. What a move from Piastri in Lesmo 1. Round the outside of Charles Leclerc. That is insane. That is insanity what he's done there. So momentum back for Piastri. Yeah, Verstappen put Lando on the grass really. And then cut the corner. I thought it was going to be Piastri cutting the corner, but in the end, it was Max Verstappen. So Verstappen is in the lead of the Grand Prix, everyone. And what an incredible move. Just to explain it, Piastri round the outside cleanly of Charles Leclerc at Lesmo 1. That shows you what a performance difference there is. And Verstappen being told to give back the position. So they're not messing around. Verstappen's going to give back the position to Lando. And that happens on the home straight. Difficult to tell whether Lando just did it on under kind of normal conditions. And Piastri also tries to follow, but can't do... I can't quite do it. I was holding that in. And, oh my days, Leclerc manages to get past Piastri again. So Piastri, who was trying to follow Lando through on Max Verstappen, gets his pocket picked by Charles Leclerc on the exit of turn 1 around Curva Grande. What a move from Charles Leclerc. I tell you, the photo, we're actually loving that. And Hamilton's up to P8. Max saying mighty Max. No further investigation between Verstappen and Lando, basically because Verstappen's given the penalty back. Shades of Singapore. Shades of Singapore there. So now it's big advantage Lando. Big advantage Lando, because Oscar Piastri's all the way down in P4. Welcome, Sophia. What's going on? This race is already insane. Piastri, Leclerc is all over the place under braking. I had to avoid him. So presumably Piastri will get this done on Leclerc down the home straight, I would imagine. Because these McLarens look quick. Yeah, Piastri's all over the back of Charles Leclerc already through Parabolica. This is going to be easy. I think Charles Leclerc might also have DRS open himself. Charles Leclerc defends hard. Defends all the way to the white line. and then defends again from Piastri, locks up a little bit. Piastri trying to go round the outside on the exit of the first corner. It's clear that the McLaren has so much more downforce than Ferrari, but Piastri can't get it done. Piastri can't get it done on Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is defending like a wily old veteran in Formula 1. I suppose, compared to Oscar Piastri he is. And behind, Bortoleto is still in 6th place, and believe this, Bortoleto is putting the pressure on George Russell. And Fernando Alonso, the other rookie, is there as well, with Hamilton lurking in the background. So how is this race going to go? Surely Piastri needs to get past Charles Leclerc sharpest, but I just don't think he can do it. I just don't think Charles Leclerc can get this done on... Sorry, I don't think Piastri can get this done on Charles Leclerc. Piastri is struggling here. And yeah, Verstappen in DRS. This is insane. Verstappen in DRS down the back straight, or the first back straight, up into Ascari. Keep an eye on Verstappen into turn 1. If Verstappen can stay in DRS through the detection point just for Parabolica, this is going to get extremely interesting. Extremely interesting. Black is loving the vibes on getting their racing through. This does feel like a different race here. Verstappen round the outside into turn 1. Verstappen ahead. Verstappen ahead. Verstappen is overtaken Lando. I think the live timing is struggling here under the weight, but I can confirm that Verstappen has overtaken Lando Norris into turn 1. This is scarcely believable. This sounds like it's not true, but it is true. Verstappen has overtaken Lando into turn 1, and Verstappen is now gapping. Verstappen is now gapping Lando Norris. You'll see it in the standings there. Verstappen is going to overtake Lando Norris into turn 1. So what's going on with Verstappen? Piastri, he needs to give that back. He went to defend and went long. Piastri's having a little cry on the radio. Piastri needs to get past Leclerc here, because maybe then he can get into Lando himself. So Oscar Piastri is struggling here big time. Cannot get past Charles Leclerc. And meanwhile, Verstappen, whatever setup, whatever rear wing they put on that Red Bull, keep it on. Keep it on for Monaco. Because that would be dangerous. But Verstappen is going to try and gap Lando. Now, dangerous times here for Verstappen, because Lando has DRS down the back straight. Joseph saying McLaren set up too much downforce. Everyone in chat, keep an eye on the on the speeds. Keep an eye on the speeds down the back straight here. Verstappen looks like he has just a little bit more kph without DRS, and Lando, that's with Lando in the slip. But now have a look with DRS. What's going to happen here with DRS for Lando? Lando's going to turn on that DRS. I don't know why he hasn't. Lando's not even a second. Lando's not within a second. That's why he hasn't. Lando is not within a second now of Max Verstappen. This is dangerous times for Lando. Max Verstappen could sensationally win this Grand Prix. No one thought it was possible. I was hoping it was possible. But this could be a Max Verstappen GOAT masterclass as Lewis Hamilton gets past Fernando Alonso into turn 1. And you can see they're starting to become a Charles Leclerc train, dare I say. Chat, can we call that a Charles Leclerc train? What do we think? Lando at risk from Leclerc. I don't agree with that. I think it's just surprising that Piastri can't get through. Lando avoiding Max's dirty air. Well, he's out of DRS now, so he's going to have to be playing a long game. And Verstappen saying he let the brakes go, mate, on purpose. But, you know, Verstappen, I think, doing the right thing, which is, you know, put it in the steward's hands, and then, if you need to, give the position back. As Oscar Piastri goes round the outside of Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri gets it done on Charles Leclerc. So Oscar Piastri is going to be up into P3. There's, for some reason, there's more of a delay on the standings from what I'm seeing. So I'm letting you know ahead of time that Oscar Piastri is getting this done on Charles Leclerc into turn 1. So Piastri gets the move done. You'll be able to see it as it happens. Charles Leclerc did defend. So we might see a Leclerc train now. That sounds like your cup of tea. It's happening. And there, Piastri into P3. Now, you've got to worry about Lando Norris here. You've got to worry about Lando Norris big time. Have a look at the lap times between Lando and Oscar. Have a look at the sector times between Lando and Oscar as well. Gordy saying Lando should stay behind and try the undercut. Max is going to be vulnerable to undercut here, for sure. Max is going to be vulnerable to undercut. So let's see what happens. So Piastri 3 now into P3. Lando dropping off here. Lando dropping off. Such a difference what we saw in, say, Zandvoort, where the Red Bull just didn't have the pace. But now, Verstappen dragging that thing. And by the way, even Tsunoda is in P9. He's ahead of Antonelli. Antonelli's had a terrible start, lost 4 positions. And Liam Lawson, by the way, anyone on Liam Lawson watch, he has made those soft tyres work. How many players did Hamilton gain? Buddha says he's gained 3 positions. Welcome back to C. Good to see you. Michael always worries about Lando. Good to see you again, Michael. No further investigation between Tsunoda and Hamilton turn 1. Gaining an advantage. And Sky King saying Verstappen pulling away big time. 1.9 seconds Verstappen. Chat, 800 people watching, 100 likes. Please, everyone, right now, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let's do a big spike up to 200. And if you're not subscribed as well, hit the subscribe button. Professor saying Lando looks like he's lifting and coasting. Professor, you want the onboard? Because maybe Lando's playing some 5D chess here. Maybe Lando is just keeping a lot in reserve. And he's going to execute a very ruthless undercut. Welcome back, C, as well. So Professor Logic has got the onboard. So if anyone's got any questions for the onboard, you can at Professor Logic in the chat. He'll let you know. Charles Leclerc now holding up George Russell. Meanwhile, Hamilton up into P6. He's made short work of Bortoletto as well. So Hamilton's made short work of Bortoletto. And Hamilton is fastest through the speed trap, by the way. 363 Ks through the speed trap. That is insane. 225 miles an hour down the speed trap. So that Ferrari is fast. They basically chopped off the rear wing. Welcome, Tom. Oh, it works. It's worked. The subscriber goal does work. Only 999 to go. I agree. Nice, Hamilton. Yeah, Hamilton on the move. Can Hamilton get it done on George Russell? It's a very exciting start to the GP. Drivers had their elbows out. Kumar says Max needs to push himself to the limit. We need to see what Max is capable of here. But Professor saying Verstappen doesn't make mistakes. That's the thing about Max. He doesn't really make mistakes. So you have to do the perfect race. And Verstappen is lapping quicker than Lando. And Lando is lapping quicker than Oscar. Meanwhile, I'm going to see Isaac Hadjar trying to go around the outside of Colapinto. Oh! Hadjar cut the whole first corner. Had to go through the gates. Get an arm workout. We lost a lot of time. I don't think he'll be too impressed with Colapinto. In fact, they're still at it, Hadjar and Colapinto. And Cino saying Max will DNF today. Power unit. Do you know something? Have you done something? George Russell is actually putting the pressure on Leclerc. Hamilton's trying to keep up. But yeah, look at the top speeds here. You can see Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton. Russell in DRS. Russell surely not into Ascari. That would be insane. But 326 for Russell with DRS. Hamilton was topping out about 320. So you can see what the DRS does. Yeah, dare we say Piastri train? It looks like that McLaren just isn't slippery enough down the straights. So keep an eye on the top speeds there. In fact, let's see top speeds down the speed trap. So Verstappen topping out at 333. What's Lando doing? 333 as well. Oscar Piastri 332 I can see. Leclerc 333. But George Russell 338. 341 for George Russell. And Leclerc 341 with no DRS. 343, no DRS for Charles Leclerc. That Ferrari is quick in a straight line. That engine is on maximum party mode. So even though George Russell's got DRS, Charles Leclerc with no DRS is just as quick down the straight. And you do the math, as they say in America. Professor Lando looks to be managing brakes. Remember, there was an issue in China, wasn't there? So he's managing those brakes, perhaps. And Pablo Ruiz saying hard with the strap for the first stint. Don't go anywhere. I think this is going to be a very exciting Grand Prix. It's one of these ones that's going quickly. 45 laps to go. There is a 5-second time penalty that's been awarded. So a 5-second tyre penalty. I don't know if that went to Gasly for some reason. I can see that Gasly, they were on the radio to Gasly. No, it's Ocon. I believe Ocon has been given a 5-second penalty due to Max Verstappen's overtake on the first lap. They've given a 5-second penalty to Ocon. Lance Stroll, meanwhile, was trying to go around the outside of a Haas and basically almost had a huge incident. And that's because Ocon didn't give Lance Stroll enough space. That's what's been decided. Kima saying Lando DNF like Dutch Grand Prix. We will see what happens. Gordy saying Norris is saving his tyres and will stay out longer than Max. Okay, well, let's see. You see, the live timing is struggling, but I can tell you that is Verstappen in the lead. Norris 3.2 seconds behind, and Piastri 4.4 seconds behind Lando. And then there's a big battle for fourth with Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton. Bortoletto still there, ahead of Fernando Alonso. As someone dives into the pits, Liam Lawson does 10 laps on the soft tyre and comes in. So Liam Lawson comes in as Verstappen just set the fastest lap of the race with no DRS and no slipstream. That is insane. That is insane. And Kawexi saying 4 drivers have overtake opportunities soon. So Verstappen setting fastest laps, no slipstream, no DRS. I don't know how he's doing that, but he is doing it, so fair play. That's kind of crazy. Meanwhile, Piastri doesn't quite have the measure of Lando, although he's done the fastest Sector 2 out of anyone. That could be a decent... Could potentially be a fastest lap coming up here for Oscar, also with no DRS. When did Red Bull get at Monza? When they just chopped off the Wang. Gordy saying Max is pushing too hard, burning his tyres up. We will see. And McLaren, yeah, safety car here would be interesting. As Verstappen does another fastest lap, 23 dead. And believe this, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri do exactly the same. No, they don't. I missed a digit there. Do pretty much the same lap time. Pretty much the same lap time there. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, 10 laps on the soft for Lawson, and he's come in, so that'll be indicative if people try and do something at the end. But you'd need there's a big pit loss here, so you need your soft tyres to be doing 2.6 seconds faster than the mediums. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get that strategy, I've got to be honest. Liam Lawson now all the way off the bat. I suppose if there's a safety car, well, if there's a safety car, he hasn't gained anything either, so explain that one to me, aliens. But yeah, Verstappen just did fastest lap of the race. And has he just done another one as well? Has he back-to-backed it? I think he has. I think he has. He's back-to-backed it. 23 dead again. And this time Lando is half a second clear of Piastri. Half a second quicker than Piastri. I think Piastri's struggling. So unless Piastri playing some 8-dimensional chess here, Piastri is struggling big time because we're not seeing the usual him putting pressure on Lando. Louis Russell says Piastri with the one stop. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're all going to try and do one stops anyway, so... I mean, presumably Lawson's going to try and go to the end. Yeah, Esteban Ocon with that 5-second penalty, he will take it at the pit stop. Remember, at least one mandatory pit stop. Lots of lap times deleted as people will be pushing the limits of the track. Also known as track limits. But I prefer to call it limits of the track. That's to give it its full title. So Verstappen, will he do another fastest lap? Yes, he does! Back to back, 3 fastest laps in a row. Chat, put your Verstappen emojis in the chat if you've got them. If you're loving what Verstappen's doing right now. Here we go. 3 fastest laps in a row for Max Verstappen. Max is in beast mode. You remember the legendary story of Michael Schumacher? He needed to do 25 qualifying laps in a row. You're witnessing it right now from someone who is most definitely, we confirmed yesterday, in the GOAT conversation. This is GOAT behaviour right now. This is GOAT behaviour. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc is just holding off George Russell Russell is going to be crying a little bit there because he can't get past. And we now have a Bortoleto train confirmed. So Bortoleto train is happening. 1,000 people watching. Please, everyone, please hit the like button. In fact, everyone in chat, please hit the like button. Do the like thing. We can get up to 500 likes. It'd be big for a little independent stream like us. We're not sponsored or anything, so it'd be really, your help would be really appreciated. Pit loss time, I think, is about 24-25 seconds here. I think it's one of the longer pit loss times because you're not cutting any corners. It's not like Silverstone. And the straight is so quick. The streak comes to an end for Verstappen. It's only a 23.2. Well, I say that. Norris matching him now. Welcome, Mike, as well. Good to see you. Yeah, slap that like button. Absolutely destroy it. Joseph, maybe McLaren instead of sticking with plan A, going for plan B. Well, what is plan B? Piastri, consider 5th gear for turn 8. 5th gear. So maybe slowing it down even more. Because surely are they going through in 6th there? I don't know. In GT3s, I'm going through in 4th. Gasly's saying he feels sick. Hopefully Gasly's okay. So Verstappen, keep an eye on the gap now. 4 seconds between Verstappen to Norris. Maybe he's just got enough that he's not really in danger of being undercut. But surely we'll see Lando try and do an undercut at some point. 23.1 for Verstappen. Again, is 4 tenths quicker than Lando. And what about Oscar Piastri? Oscar Piastri, 123.6. So Verstappen is doing something insane here. It is legendary behaviour. Legendary behaviour. Which one is turn 7? Turn 7 is Lesmo 2. The second Lesmo, also known as the second Italian Degna, to give it its full name. Well, I don't think he's not going to get a free pit stop. He won't be able to extend on a free pit stop. But I wonder if Verstappen wants to come out ahead of Bortoleto. What's the gap between Verstappen and Bortoleto? 20 seconds. It's getting there. So if Verstappen can pit ahead of Bortoleto, Verstappen can kind of do his own undercut. He could be the first one to dive in. Oh, look at those likes flowing in now. Thanks so much, everyone. Let's do a little nations check as well. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. What looks like it's going to be one of the best races of the season, to be honest. Because still, the odds will say that Verstappen is not going to win this. So let us know where in the world you're watching from. I'll read them out as well. And Leclerc now gapping Russell a little bit, it seems, even with DRS. See from Philippines, Martin from the Netherlands we've got here. Feel free to put your flags in as well. Frederick from Sweden. Wally from North Sentinel. Isn't that very dangerous? Bubbly from Singapore. Kara from India. Clitrock, Netherlands. 88 from Arizona. Stuk, Vietnam. Vlatka from Croatia. Juliva, Philippines. JL, Thailand. Omar, Israel. Kimetsu, Turkey. Andre, Philippines. DMZ, Zimbabwe. Hanya, Dubai. Saba, Sicily on vacation. Blimps, Indonesia. Gareth, England. Michael, Australia. Hanya from Dubai. Barry, Kansas. Michael, Malaysia. Mike from Singapore. Rob from Scotland. Podcast just landed in South Africa. Very nice. Hamish, New Zealand. Random, Malaysia. Zeno, Belgium. Forward, Zimbabwe. Panaj, India. Radomir, Australia. WY, Hong Kong. G3, India. Singapore, yeah, next week Singapore. Oh, not next week. Next round, Singapore. Tristan, Australia. Sophia, Australia. Shivam, India. Dutchy, Netherlands. Ruby, Australia. Price, Monaco. How are things in Monaco? Sky King, Germany. Honda RA, great car. Australia. Melissa from Romania. Gordy, North Yorkshire. Angel, Philippines. Size X, London. Welcome to Size X. McGurkin, UK. Valerie from Belgium. Rachika, Sri Lanka. Byron, Kenya. Banali Devi from India. And Professor saying Lando is doing some lift and coast. He's also looking to pit in front of Bortoleto. You want to box ahead of the Bortoleto train. Michael from the Philippines. H from Gotham. Adam from South Australia. Josh Lee from Malaysia. Welcome on board, everyone. Great to have you. Ben, South Africa. Linda, stop the ads. There are no ads running on the stream. YouTube gives me pop-ups saying run ads, and I don't turn them on. So there are no in-stream ads on this channel ever to date. So hopefully you enjoy that. Please feel free to donate in lieu of the ads if you would like to. That's always greatly appreciated. Or gift a membership. Right, here we go then. So Verstappen, again, 23 dead. Another fastest lap. Cue them up for Verstappen. Rack them up. Ring the bell. We need a little bell here. We need to ring one of these trophies or something. Another Verstappen. Can you ring a trophy? Another fastest lap for Verstappen. Chat, I need you to at me when you want to ring the bell. And we'll tally them up when we get a fastest lap. Quench Verstappen on the roll, JS from Monaco and France. Covering all bases there. Ian's watching from a driving range in southern Spain. Very nice. Hopefully you got us on in the background and you're hitting your tee shots. John from Albania. Zena, can you give me an F1 steering wheel? Well, just subscribe to the channel because we often give them away. Okay. What about the box situation? 22 seconds from Verstappen to Bortoletto. So will we see another fast lap from Verstappen as he tries to kind of get into that pit window ahead of Bortoletto? Remember, this is an old saying in Formula 1, the more condensed the train, the greater the chance of a safety car. It's a very famous saying. What's Verstappen going to do here? He goes over 22.8. 22.8, another fastest lap. Put your bell emojis in the chat there. Ring that one up. Because Verstappen is just absolutely on fire here. And Rob would suggest there's almost no tyre deck. Maybe. Has there been a resurfacing? Maybe you got to understand also the fuel load going down. Chat, put your bell emojis in the chat when there's a fastest lap. What happened to Nico Hulkenberg? He retired. Welcome Jemil, welcome SSB, welcome Random as well. Good to see you. So now 23 seconds to Bortoletto. It's getting close. Obviously there'll be a margin of error as well. And Carlos Sainz is going to get a penalty here because he cut the second chicane and he didn't take to the escape road. So he's going to get a slam dunk penalty there, 5 seconds. Maybe he'd rather have that. And Lando, Lesmo 2, what happened? Just dipped to wheel, absolutely nothing in that. It probably looks more dramatic on TV. Yeah, it'll look dramatic on TV, but nothing in that. He just dropped wheel on the exit, Lesmo 2. There we go. Welcome Snowline, Dutchy the Bell's coming in. So Verstappen... Someone's boxing. Someone's boxing. Who's boxing? It's one of the Haas cars. Chat, get your bell icons ready. If Verstappen does another fastest lap here, we're going to ring it up. He's done it! Rigging it up! Another fast lap. And thank you so much, Vlatka, for the gifted membership. Thank you so much. It's been received by Vlatka. Chat, please get your claps out in the chat there for Vlatka, a long-standing mod and moderator, gifting a membership. And it's gone to the professor, who's keeping us updated with the onboard of Lando. It's all kicking off here. Chat, please get your claps out in chat, or your 10s out of 10 for Vlatka gifting the membership. Much appreciated, Vlatka. Extremely generous. We very much appreciated. And Professor's coming straight in with the emojis. Verstappen, this is solid, Max. Keep building the advantage. We know how things can change. Just keep eking out that advantage this stint. It's all just... Scott watching from Barcelona. Such a shame they're getting rid of Barcelona. I actually want to go... In fact, I would love to go to the Barcelona Grand Prix next year if it's the last one. I should have a look at tickets. In fact, this is my ticket from Barcelona when I went a few years ago. Does anyone remember? 440 euros. It cost. So I dread to think how much Madrid is going to cost. But anyway, I like going to Barcelona. A little lock up there for, I think, Fernando Alonso. And Red Bull comes in. It's Tsunoda. Tsunoda's in first, a 2.3 second stop. So maybe they're testing the waters with Tsunoda, and surely that is going to cause a flurry of pit stops in the midfield. You're going to see it here because for some reason today I'm actually ahead, which is awesome. So you're going to see Tsunoda jump into the pit lane here, and he's going to come out behind Liam Lawson, interestingly. So comes out behind Liam Lawson. Okay, so I don't know if anyone can work out the pit loss there. Get the bell ready. It wasn't quite a fastest lap that time for Max Verstappen. When is Tsunoda doing 5 overtakes in 1 lap? That was the... Were you here for the Friday stream with Peroni? Those are Peroni challenges. They don't do them in real F1. Snowline saying, very exciting race day. Yes, indeed. And thanks a lot, Vlatka, for gifting the membership. Sure, Professor really appreciates it. Gasly also running wide in Lesmo too. So, Verstappen, you'd expect him to burn all the rest of his tyres on his in-lap. Doesn't look like he's doing that right now, although look how close the sectors are, by the way. Can we just appreciate, before everything changes next year, look how close the sectors are between Verstappen and Lando. And, frankly, Piastri. Well, the first one. 22.8 is a very quick lap, whereas Lando does a 23 dead. That's his quickest of the race for Lando. So Lando maybe trying to hit a different delta here. And Piastri also goes a fairly quick one for him as well. And there is going to be a flurry of pit stops now. A flurry of pit stops. Wait, Tsunoda dropped behind Lawson and Behrman. So Tsunoda's had a bit of an issue here. So I don't know what's going on with Tsunoda, but I think he had a very slow first sector, and he's dropped all the way to the back. Professor's now on board with Verstappen. Let us know when it looks like he's really turning the screw. And for the first time, the McLarens, this is a very important part of the race here, the first time the McLarens are now faster than Max Verstappen. So maybe the McLarens are going to go, maybe they're going to double stack. Maybe they're going to blitzkrieg it. And they're going to double stack it. Let's see. Oh my days. Fernando Alfonso tried to overtake Bortoleto into the pit entry. Oh, Tenzig! Thank you so much. Thank you so much, chat. Please get your likes out there for the £2 donation for Tenzig. I really appreciate it. Pull one out. Thank you so much, chat. Tenzig. Chat, please give your claps out there, the emojis, for the £2 donation. Very much appreciated. So Verstappen goes around again, 22.9. But yeah, you can see that the McLarens are trying to catch now. Yeah, absolute W donation there. W's in the chat, as Drake was saying. W's in the chat. Can you add a delay to multi? No, I'm actually ahead of multiviewer. So I'm going to add any delay. This is all great. I can just let you know about things just before they happen, which is fantastic. So, Verstappen right now, 22.2. Oh, look how close it is in the first sector. Now, I have to say, the first sector of Monza only involves one corner, basically. But it is, for me, fascinating to see how close they are. And frankly, all the way down the grid. Because Alex Albon was the fastest last lap through Sector 1. Believe it or not. On really old hard tyres. So those splits in Sector 1, I know when I've done GT7 Esports and all of that, GT Sport, Sector 1 Monza, if I'm a 10th off, I'm really disappointed. So it is one of the GOAT sectors of all time. I don't think we can ring the bell. I don't think it's the fastest lap. It wasn't the fastest lap. We only ring the bell when it's the fastest lap. Hulkenberg retired, by the way. If anyone's wondering, Hulkenberg retired off the formation lap. Didn't fancy it. Just knew it was going to be too hot a race and just ducked out. Took the safe option. Frankly, who can blame him? It's been an insane race. So Verstappen, oh, super close. Super close, not quite. Norris, 22.9. Piastri, 22.8. So the McLarens are coming into it now. And do we think people boxing off the medium tyre are going onto the hards? Welcome, Valerie. Why don't you come on over to this stream, Valerie? Welcome along. So, who expected this? Who expected this Verstappen pace? Is the championship still wide open, by the way? How far is Verstappen behind Lando Norris in the championship? Can I just say that? Is the championship still open? Bortoleto, what was Bortoleto up to? Bortoleto on Lawson. Lawson. Is it going to be a great cutback from Bortoleto? So Lawson messed up turn 1. Bortoleto. Oh, thanks, podcast! Bortoleto, by the way, with a fantastic overtake on the inside of Curva Grande. That is a great overtake from Bortoleto. Bortoleto's on fire. Thank you so much, podcast chat. Please can we get our claps out again for podcast with the 40 South African Rand, as I understand it. Please get your emojis out. Please get your claps out. Thank you so much for the support there. for the 40 Rand podcast? No, you just landed in Cape Town. Were you able to watch us on the plane is the question. Very global stream. Frederick saying Verstappen is 104 points behind Piastri. Okay. Because right now, it seems like Verstappen is the fastest driver in Formula 1. With the car, taking into account the car underneath him. That's insane. No one expected that. But it's happening like that. Okay, so, and by the way, a word for Charles Leclerc, who's just holding off George Russell here, like nobody's business, and Lewis Hamilton. So if there is a coming together of the cars ahead, the Ferraris are well placed. Let's put it like that. So Alonso, Bortoleto, and Tsunoda, I guess they've boxed, right? Yeah, that's the boxing crew. Surprised Antonelli maybe isn't boxing a little bit, although he's not stuck in traffic. So maybe the Williams need to sort themselves out. Carlos Sainz doesn't agree. I think if Carlos Sainz maybe being asked to swap positions with Albon. Oh no! Fernando Alonso! Big problem. Big problem for Alfonso. On the back straight, looks like contact. I would not be surprised if he's come together with Bortoleto, because it looks like he's been really furious with Bortoleto, as Alex Albon does swap with Carlos Sainz. So it looks like the Williams did kind of execute team orders there, execute order 66, and Fernando Alfonso has had some kind of issue. You're going to see him on the standings, I think, crawl to a halt. Does he have a moment through Ascari? He comes into Ascari ahead of Bortoleto. Is he going to have some kind of problem? Is it damage? Does he hit the wall on the exit? I can't see any damage on the car. Suspension failure. Suspension failure. There you go on the back straight. So I think Fernando Alfonso has hit the curbs too hard on the exit of Ascari. Oh my goodness me. He's just run over the curb very normally on the exit, and the Aston Martin suspension has given way. I've never seen that in Formula 1. I've never seen that in Formula 1. The exit curb of Ascari is very compliant. Alfonso, not Alonso. Yeah, Snowline, I'm especially happy for the Tifosi. They deserve some excitement to happen because they've had a rough go. Yes, indeed. Banana says Ferrari need a miracle. That was close to a safety car, by the way. Because that was a suspension failure. And it happened, basically, very close to the one corner from the pit lane. Welcome, Kainos Nico, as well. Good to have you on board. Hamilton closing. Hamilton closing. Yeah, there's going to be no safety car from that. Chat, we're almost halfway through the race. And somehow, Verstappen now is... these lads are clearly on a one-stopper. They're clearly on a one-stopper. There's no doubt about that. We're talking one stop. We're talking a one-stop ting. Sargi says, please Ferrari. Welcome Master Render as well. Master Render is saying, I believe he would have to win all coming races. Well, we're talking about someone in the GOAT conversation here, which is Max Verstappen. So yeah, lots of different strategies going on. Bortoleto and Behrman and Tsunoda on a very different strategy. Piastri considering plan A. You think that's possible? I think so for now. I mean, it's clear for me. This is abundantly clear. This is a one-stopping race. BCR Esports, Max can pit after McLaren. Yeah, Max has got enough of a window. He can't be undercut. He's undercut proof. In fact, he could even seize the initiative if he wants to. But right now, maybe he wants to come out ahead of Leclerc. Maybe he wants to come out ahead of Leclerc. If he keeps... Oh, but Leclerc, 23.1, he's not eking out a gap there, as they say. That would be the ultimate strategy. What you don't want to do if you're Verstappen, you don't want to come out in that pack unless you know that the tyre delta is going to be so big, you're just going to overtake them straight away. Science saying his front tyre's dead in traffic. And NASCAR saying Ferrari need a miracle. Ian, how far ahead is Verstappen? You can see on the standings, my friend. He's 6 seconds ahead of Oscar Piastri right now. Anton, my poor Alfonso, yeah. Oh, unless there's something different with that curb. When I went to Barcelona, the curbs are savage, frankly. including when they used to do the chicane. I went. As George Russell is going to box, by the way. George Russell is going to box. The team radio chat is definitely working, my friend. The team radio chat is definitely working. That's not predicted. Oh, maybe plan 8 or softs. Yeah, sorry. Maybe plan 8 or softs. We know Liam Lawson. Did 10 laps on the softs. Oh, so maybe one of the McLarens will go on softs and we'll see if there's a delta between softs and mediums. Because right now, it's about pace. 23 dead for Verstappen. Lando goes faster, 22.8. Piastri, 22.7. So Piastri was faster. But what is Tsunoda doing? Tsunoda's nowhere right now. Tsunoda's literally nowhere. Does Tsunoda have a problem? Tsunoda's been overtaken by Liam Lawson. That's incredible. Yeah, Liam Lawson round the outside. Oh my word. Oh my word. Given the context of Tsunoda and Lawson, Tsunoda's saying, what is he doing, bro? Literally, I'm not exaggerating. He actually said, what is he doing, bro? Liam Lawson and Tsunoda are banging wheels into turn 2, and then Tsunoda gets Lawson lets him back through on the way to Ascari, but that was almost a huge accident. That was wheel banging into turn 2. That could have been a huge accident. Professor noting that Antonelli's in the pits as well. So Antonelli going to box. And Hamilton passed Russell. Yeah, because Russell's boxed. So that releases Hamilton. Good spot. That releases Hamilton. And is that a puncture for Tsunoda? Is that going to be a puncture for Tsunoda? Hopefully not, because he's just going past the pits. I don't think he's got a puncture right now. Keep an eye on the top speed, but they were banging wheels. Welcome Banana as well. Verstappen 23 dead. Lando 23 dead. Piastri 22.8. Leclerc 23 dead. What about Hamilton? What's Hamilton saying? Hamilton goes over the line 23.3. The fastest lap so far for Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen's tyres. I feel like I can see canvas. Verstappen's tyres are destroyed. Verstappen's tyres are utterly destroyed. How's he doing this? There's mad graining on it. There's mad graining. This is risky now. This is risky. Verstappen's tyres are... You would fail your MOT and they'd ban you from driving if you turned up like that. Verstappen's tyres are insanely gone. That just adds to this kind of like insaneness about what he's doing. Surely Verstappen's got a box. He would come out now, we think, ahead of Hamilton. This could be the window. This could be the window. Keep an eye on Verstappen. What a drive from Verstappen to manage those tyres. Goodness me. There's nothing left on them. There's nothing left. Is Verstappen going to box? Is he going to box? We will see. No, he doesn't. No box for Verstappen. And Verstappen. And his fastest lap, by the way, for George Russell, who does the fastest lap. Joseph say both McLarens now 4/10 quicker than Max. Both McLarens now 4/10 quicker than Max. Okay. Alright, so Verstappen. Oh, Piastri, ring it. Piastri, the fastest lap. Fastest lap for Piastri there, 1:22.7. So Piastri on the move. Piastri on the move. But George Russell, I understand, is on a fast one. Alan says, holy crap, he's going for it. And Snowline saying, Max is a tyre whisperer today. Keep an eye on Russell. Where are the sectors for Russell? Russell, I think, is going to ring one up. Let's see. Yeah, fastest lap. For 22.4 for George Russell. Ring it up. Look at that one. So the Mercedes on the fresh hards going half a second quicker, almost, than the front runners. So hard tyre confirmed OP. Unless you want to go on a plan on a soft tyre. Unless you want to go on a plan on a soft tyre. That could also be possible. is Verstappen going to box here? Surely he needs to. He's going around again. Welcome Anton Avila. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe as well if you're not subscribed. Would be great to have you with us for the next GPs and qualifyings as well. And also when we go to real races. Franco Colapinto also cut turn 1. Interestingly, they've removed the sausage curb in turn 1. There's no sausage in turn 1, so you may as well just cut it. You may as well just cut it, lads. What have they done there? So, Colapinto is like, Euro Edits, please subscribe. Yeah, welcome back, Euro Edits. Good to see you. Ferrari box, they're all doing one stops. So I want to be clear. Carlos Sainz is in the pits. Carlos Sainz boxes. They're all doing one stops. It's just what constituency of one stop is it? Why did Kimi pit so early? He hasn't pitted that early. Gorge saying Max will blow out. Akab saying Matt's tyre going to blow. Rob fastest lap on the hard. It's just a fresh tyre. It doesn't at Monza. You just want to be on that fresh rubber, like rather than destroyed mediums or hards, frankly. Angar saying, are they going to use softs for second stint? They might be using softs for second stint. It could happen. It could happen. Meanwhile, look at the terrible Tsunoda pace. Absolutely laughably bad. Comical Tsunoda pace there. Professor saying the trust they have in this tyre is ridiculous. Yeah, if that tyre blows out, you're going to have a huge accident. Isn't that in the F1 movie? Doesn't he like barrel roll like 10 billion times? Is that a parabolica? I can't remember. I haven't seen it. Oh, Banana, thank you so much for the $4.99. Thank you so much, Banana. Chat, please can we love that and like it and leave some claps in the comments. 10 out of 10. Thank you so much, Banana, for the $4.99. I massively appreciate it. Extremely generous to everyone today. Thank you so much. Like Vlaka says, warm welcome to all who decided to join us for the first time. Yeah, let us know if you're here for the first time as well. And put those claps in for Banana. Thank you very much. I was saying Piastri, but now I'm not sure. Now I'm not so sure. As Isaac Hadjar jumps into the pits. Still, Verstappen keeps going. Ominously on. 22.9. The consistency is there. Pepper saying Charles. Akib saying Charles or Hamilton. Alan, how is Max managing to keep pace with the rubber banders tyres? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure how he's doing it. Ring the bell. Yeah, let's ring the bell for a donation as well. Donations, we ring the bell now. We've had this for years. We never even knew that we had a bell. Ah, Size X, thank you so much for the gifted membership. God to Master Renderer, thank you so much, Size X, for the 12-month badge yourself. Massively appreciate it. As Charles Leclerc goes into the pits. Charles Leclerc comes into the pits. That will change the dynamic, especially if Ferrari box as well as for Hamilton, which they don't. So, I'm a little bit ahead of this. Charles Leclerc is going to box. Charles Leclerc is going to box everyone. Thank you so much, Size X. Please get your claps out as well. This is the first time we've done this where I actually need to let you know ahead, and then you can see how it happens. So Charles Leclerc is going to box. I don't want to risk resyncing it. Yeah, Professor saying that the soft did 10 laps for Lawson. Joseph, McLaren best tyre choice for hards, so they can push to the limit. What if they split a strat? What if they split the strategy at McLaren? What happens there? And what if one of them thinks it's not the best strategy? 21 laps to go. It feels like we're about 10 laps away from a confirmed soft window. Don't worry, I don't mind being ahead. So, Charles Leclerc is going to box this lap, everyone. Charles Leclerc is going to box this lap. So here comes Leclerc. He will come in. And that will promote Lewis Hamilton to provisionally P4th on circuit. Adam says Max started P1. I think he'll finish P1 if there's no safety cars. Imagine if a safety car comes out though. By the way, if everyone's going really long on the tyre, if everyone's going really long... Also, how many times have I guessed the driver right? It's like people, like octopuses that guess the stock market. Leclerc, if we're not under threat, why do we stop just now? Just need to know. And he's been told we can discuss later. That's George Russell on Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll's up there in P8 on ancient tyres. Those tyres were chipped away originally from the Jurassic coast. They were made by the pressure of sediment about 500,000 years ago, and they're still on Lance Stroll's car. Charles Leclerc came into the box with a big old lockup. Oh, he might get a penalty for that. He might get a penalty if he's over the limit. We will see. So Verstappen goes around again. Colapinto came into the pits. Angol slow lap for Piastri. Maybe the previous one, not this one here. And Charles Leclerc. It looks like a scrub set for Leclerc. Oh no, sorry, it was weird. I think he did a burnout straight away out of the pits to get them nicely warmed up. Alan says, Jesus approved all of these tyres from when he was alive. These tyres were in the garden with Adam and Eve. If you look closely at the pictures, you've got Adam, Eve, a snake, an apple, and then you have a Pirelli hard tyre. Can anyone, if you look back now, you'll see it. Can anyone confirm that? And you'll actually see in the corner Lance Stroll as well. Professor saying Lando is catching Max. And Joe's and Leclerc. Yeah, keep an eye on the Leclerc pace. Keep an eye on the Leclerc pace here. Lando being asked, what are your thoughts on the soft tyre? And he says, yeah, well, I guess the opposite of the car ahead. Okay, so I think we might see that split strategy. We might see that split strategy. Rob noticing some pace from Albon. Where's Albon? What pace is he doing? 122.9 on ancient tyres, on biblical, they're Old Testament tyres, let's put it like that. Sophia just checked the Bible and see a Pirelli hanging in the tree right next to the apple. There we go. I can't remember how the story goes. If only they'd taken a bite out of the Pirelli. Matt McGregor says Flintstone tyres. Verstappen's got them. Verstappen's got the Flintstone tyres. Someone's got a black and white flag. Must be repeated corner cutting. Welcome Dre and welcome Andre. So Colapinto is a lap car in there. And Angel saying Max can still produce 2/10 off fastest lap. Yeah, the Verstappen pace here. This is GOAT level. When Verstappen won at Monza a couple of years ago, I was like, hang on, this is GOAT behaviour. I think what he's doing now, this is GOAT level behaviour, let's be honest. Verstappen, we're hearing Verstappen's going to box. We're hearing Verstappen's going to box. I will see it first. Professor on the onboard, surely Verstappen's boxing. Verstappen being told box, box. So Verstappen comes in ahead of the Ferraris. So Verstappen playing his hand. Does that mean the McLarens can try and go on the softs? And I can tell you that Verstappen is going to box. Verstappen is going to box. I'll tell you what I'm seeing. Comes in, no big lockup on entry. Is he going on softs or hards? He's coming out on hards. So interestingly, it's not as you might expect, but he is doing most of the race on mediums, and he's going to do 17 or 16 laps on the hards. He's dangerously in that soft window. And that means Lando is the race leader right now on track. You're going to see all that happen. You're going to see all that happen. So, Max is boxing first. The question is, are the McLarens going to double stack? Will one of them follow him? Will one of them peel off like a fighter jet and follow him onto the hard tyre? And will the other stay out, take the provisional lead and take the advantage in case of safety car and go onto the soft tyre? So there's an element of luck here, by the way, because if the car that stays out, if there's a safety car... By the way, very nice touch from Mercedes, I believe. They've done the Italian colours for this GP on their steering wheel. Or maybe Kimi has the Italian colours in this one. The Mercedes wheel is somewhere else right now, but normally I would show you what it looks like. So Professor saying Lando's going to stay out. So here you go. You're going to see it happen now. Verstappen's going to come into the pits. So this is Verstappen coming into the pit and handing over the race lead to Lando Norris. And BCR Esports noting that Hamilton is going to come in as well. So what's a Lando pace looking like now? Keep an eye on the sectors. Oscar says Oscar should pit. Oscar, concentrate on the driving. We got this covered here. So Verstappen will come out ahead of Hamilton, which is important. And then I think Hamilton in the future is boxing as well. Also onto hard tyres. So is anyone going onto softs? Is anyone going to go onto softs? Whoa. Snowlight says, Kirith, why did they put hards on Max? I think it's the safest. I think Max, you don't want to risk it. The way this works out for Oscar is if he goes onto softs and if there's a safety car, he's going to have ahead of him hard, and he's going to be on softs. Also, the safety car will run some laps down. So Oscar Piastri right now really wants someone to do something stupid. Where is Franco Colapinto? Where is Colapinto? Colapinto's just done his fastest lap of the race. There's a big battle between Antonelli and Gasly. Kimi goes round the outside at Curva Grande. What a move from Kimi. What a move from the teenager. Round the outside of Pierre Gasly. Love that. And the professor noting that Lando's using the overtake button to catch Colapinto. Is that to get a bit of a DRS and slipstream? And as you can see here, the McLarens both going around again. Both going around. And it's important to note, Verstappen managed to get a whole pit stop ahead of Hamilton. So Verstappen a whole pit stop ahead of Hamilton, because you're going to see now Hamilton boxing. So Hamilton boxes there. Hamilton goes into the pits. And Alex Albon is also out, is out on old tyres. Old Testament tyres. Hamilton saying, great job on the stop, guys. Sorry I was long. Having done a Formula 1 pit stop now, I totally get it. If anyone hasn't seen the videos on Instagram. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, just search me on there. Make sure to follow me because I have a lot of short videos that go there, including me going down to McLaren and doing some pit stops. And showing you a first-person view of it. BCR Esports saying crash. BCR Esports saying crash. Hopefully that's not... well, we obviously hope there's not crashes anyway. But let's see if that would pull out a safety car. Because there are lots of people. Go! There is a crash! There is a crash! This could be safety car! Let's see what happens. Yellow flag into turn 2. It's the Williams and the Haas. Who is it? Is it Carlos Sainz? Is it Carlos Sainz and Behrman? They both get going. Lots of drivers trying to do it into turn 2. That could have easily happened between Lawson and Sonoda. It happened with Sainz and Behrman. Are they both okay to continue? So you will see that happen. That is going to be in the second chicane. They both went in side by side. It just ate one of those corners. Ate one of those corners. I've got a severe alert in the UK. Something's happening. I think it's nuclear Armageddon. I think the nuclear war has started, but that can wait, frankly. A nuclear alert. There's a life-threatening emergency. Frankly, I don't care. Let's carry on with the race because there's 14 laps to go. And let's get this race finished. A nuclear Armageddon can wait. So, where are we right now? Norris, Piastri, Verstappen, Albon, Leclerc, Russell. Okay. So, the McLarens are going long. Are they both going to go on the soft tyre? Are they both going to go on the soft tyre here? Verstappen fastest lap. Bring it up, everyone. We didn't get the bell emojis. Verstappen fastest lap on those new hard tyres. Alex says, Russia hold on, Max is cooking right now. We can wait. So what happened with Carlos Sainz and Oliver Behrman going in turn 2, it was Sainz around the outside into turn 2. And to be fair, this is why drivers will say, this is why we're cutting the corner. Because if I try and turn in and the driver on the inside rolls off, there's going to be a big crash. So I'd rather cut the corner and then the stewards can look at it, do some VAR on that. Behrman saying he turned across. No, Behrman, mate, you have to back out there. Behrman has to back out there. Like, I don't know what Behrman thinks he's doing, but you can't both hit that apex. That's physics. I don't know if we still have a someone saying debris. Who's saying debris in there? Daniel says, come on, Max. 13 laps to go. Chat, let's do another nations check. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. I want to see. For right now, Verstappen's in P3, but he's doing an undercut on the only way this works. The only way this works is if the McLarens are playing 10-dimensional chess and go onto the soft tyre now. That's the only way it works. That's the only way it works. Hong Kong, Ila Panchenko. Sorry, Sajek from London. Dilru from Japan. Martin Netherlands, Lahire Netherlands. Shreyas Dubai. Susie UK. Anton Australia. Godslayer UK. Dre Netherlands. Savvy Germany. Dinadina UK. Rubiel Australia. Roderick's already in the bunker. Chat, this is the commitment I have to this channel and to you, our community. Putting myself in danger here by continuing to stream. Nar USA, Kim from South Africa, PD Japan, Savia from India, first F1 stream. Hope you're enjoying it. Ask any questions you got. Daggerit from Madagascar, Clickrock Netherlands, Frederick Sweden, Sky King Germany, Mohammed India, and welcome Tire Space Andy and Nikita to joining. It's completely free, by the way. Also make sure to subscribe. It's completely free. And we're close to hitting our light goal as well. Sydney, Saturn, Italy, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, South Korea, Myanmar. And Max, another fastest lap. Oh my days. Chat, you need to put those bell emojis in. Ringing it up there for Max. Corey saying, Verstappen, is your surname really Burglar? Verstappen vested his lap again. That's crazy. No worries, TJ. Surely the McLarens are going to go both softs now. Surely they're going to go both softs. What's the gap saying? Verstappen's only 13 seconds behind and he's a pit stop ahead. So I don't understand what's going on here. I don't understand what's going on. Podcast, Russell could be the hero you'll need. He has to do a crash and bring out the safety car. After saying Flow Rider in the house. Welcome to Flow Rider. Akib Hamilton in 6th right now. Yeah, so is Verstappen going to do another fastest lap? Oh, I almost went for it. So not a fastest lap there for Verstappen. Professor saying Piastri only 3.6 behind. They're not going to double stack. Or are they? Or are they going to double stack, chat? Are they going to double stack? They could double stack this. They could double stack both on the softs. That would be the most equitable thing to do. Right? Is that a crochet needle? Yeah, that's my other pastime. That's my other channel. Professor thinks it's too close. Well, we will see. We will see what's happening right now because there's only about 10 laps to go. So we are definitely in that softs window because Liam Lawson proved it. Surely they're going to go on softs. And Omar saying Piastri could get a yellow. He didn't lift a penalty. He didn't lift under yellows. We'll see. Pit stop's about 24-25 seconds, I think. LP saying Cadillac and Ford are going to change everything next year. I'm not sure they're going to change everything. Maybe they'll change everything at the back. Well, Ford, I'm not really sure how much Ford are getting involved, to be honest. Sophia missed something. What happened to Alfonso? He basically broke the suspension of the car just by driving normally. I'll be pretty annoyed about it. So Professor will let us know, I think, first out of anyone. Omar saying Norris boxing. Is this confirmed? Is this confirmed? Is Lando going to box? Is Lando going to box? Is Lando going to box here? Lando in. BCR also confirming it. Okay. So Lando Norris looks like he's going to be boxing. On your screen, you'll see it next lap. Okay. Let's see what happens with the Lando box. What's he going to go on to? Hard tyres? Sorry, yeah, hard tyres or soft tyres? Look how long they've gone on the mediums, by the way. Softs for Lando. Softs for Lando. Lando Norris is going on to soft tyres, everyone. So surely Piastri, the lap later, will go on soft. So the question is, what? So not double stacking. And Professor saying no undercut. What does no undercut? In what context? Piastri ain't going to undercut him? I think Piastri boxed. I don't think it's Lando. I think Piastri boxed. Yeah, Piastri box. It ain't Lando, everyone. It's Piastri box. Are you watching what I'm seeing? Piastri's box. Piastri's box. Piastri's going to undercut Lando. Surely Piastri's going to undercut Lando here. How far was the gap? How far was the gap? This is insane. 1.9 seconds stop as well. If Piastri undercuts Lando, then Lando is a number 2 driver. Oh, hang on a second. Surely Lando is going to box next lap, but Piastri's on the softs. And also, by the way, a scrubbed set. He's on a scrubbed set of softs. So, you're going to see there, Piastri. Not sure why it's not showing on the leaderboard there. Falling more than a lap behind, but Piastri is boxed here, everyone. Piastri's what? Welcome to all new subscribers. Apparently slow stop. Professor, what's happening? Is it a slow stop for Lando? So Piastri's going to undercut Lando here. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. The one thing they didn't want to happen is happening, and they're going to undercut Lando with Piastri. Slow stop. What we talking about? What we talking about? Okay, so Lando comes in. Lando comes in. Oh my days! What's happening? They just stand there doing nothing. They just stood there and did nothing. It's a 5.9 second stop. It's a 5.9. It's ancient. There's light comes here quicker from the sun than 5.9 seconds. You are free, and Piastri being told you're free with Lando. Piastri undercuts Lando. The one thing McLaren didn't want to happen has happened. Lando's going to be fuming. How have they done this? How have they done this? Lando, you're a number 2 driver, son. So what happened? Why did they just chill? It's like they didn't do anything. Front tyres were on. It's like they waited. Oh no! The dude on the front left sabotaged it. Allegedly. It's like they had me on the front left. It's like they had me on the front left. The guy just didn't put the gun in. The guy was just there. How much has Oscar Piastri paid that Jackman? I want to know. Thanks, Michael, for the $5 Australian. How do you feel? You must be happy. Chat, please give me a 10 out of 10s there for Michael. Thank you so much for the $5 Australian. Again, always great support from Mike in the stream. Chat, please get your claps out in chat. Chat, how much has Oscar Piastri paid the front left tyre changer to just sit there and do a 5.9 as he casually does a 1.9? How? What is happening? Honestly, this delay is just... With there's 8 laps to go, the delay is just delaying. It is what it is now. Verstappen being told you've done all of the hard work, so let's just bring this home. No risk, brother. I added the brother in that one. But it felt like a message you could say that. Professor saying papaya rules activated. Lahire is Nicole Piastri in disguise. I tell you what, I have changed the front left wheel on a McLaren Formula 1 car. So keep an eye on my Instagram later. Because I will edit that. Blacker, I know how to change a car tyre. Where can I apply? I'm pretty sure I changed it quicker than a 5.9. I'm pretty sure. Welcome, nothing new subscriber. Please do subscribe if you want to help us out. And by the way, if you want to see more like motorsport content, one of the mods will put in the link to my motorsport channel, which is Formula Fan TV. There's a lot of behind the scenes action as well. So you're going to see here on your screen now. It's good to have a pointer now. Why have we never had a pointer? Why have we never rung the bell? Lando comes into the pit. He stays there for about 10 billion years. And Piastri overtakes him on exit. You can't make it up. You literally can't make it up. Oh no, they swap positions. Down with this sort of thing. Down with this, everyone. They swap positions. Chat, can you put some boos in the chat? Can you put some boos? That is horrendous. That is obscene. That is not okay. That is not okay. That is not okay, chat. Chat, They've swapped Lando and Oscar. I don't like that at all. I don't like that one bit. Maybe they were saying Boorus. Chat, what do we think of that? Professor, I blame the wheel gun, Dark Cloud, Sky, Lando, Master Render is booing. Chat, they've swapped Lando. I tell you what, Oscar has a chance to do the funniest thing now. Oscar has a chance to do the funniest thing. Professor, can they ask Verstappen to swap positions with Lando? So it turns out Lando isn't actually the number 2 driver. Lando is the anointed son. F1 has become WWE. They literally did a tag team. This is like... we may as well be watching Money in the Bank, frankly. Lando Barrichello, weak. I think L. I'm just putting L in there. That looks like an I. That was a lower capital L. I think that's absolutely L behaviour. I think it's L behaviour. And by the way, I called this out in a sprint race last year. I'm pretty sure it's Brazil. When Oscar let Lando through in the sprint race. And I went on a bit of a mad one after. Where I was like, this is disgusting. Because people watching expect to race. They expect the best driver to win. And you can't put up all these fireworks and big CGI images of the driver around the circuit winning when they didn't win. Like I know it's a team sport, but like imagine that happened in football. Imagine Bayern Munich, someone just let Bayern win or something. Like I don't like this a lot. Other people don't seem to care about it, but I really don't like it. Verstappen being told Norris and Piastri swap places, and Verstappen says, "Ha!" just because he had a slow stop. Verstappen being told it's not our business, but I guess it keeps it fair between the drivers in terms of championship. Verstappen knows what's up. I'll tell you what, Verstappen wouldn't have given that position back. I'll tell you what, Sebastian Vettel wouldn't have given that position back. L-bait behaviour from Oscar Piastri. I don't think Oscar Piastri should have given that position back. I know some people's opinion is that it's valid. That thanks Saba for the check 49, your first super chat. Chat, please can we get our claps out for Sazaba F and the disclosure thing for a 49 check donation. Thank you very much, chat. Please give your claps out here for Saba F. There we go. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I know a lot of people say it's a team sport, but this is like in sim racing. I review like the most expensive sim racing equipment in the world. I know that the vast majority of people don't have the time and not expected to know all the ins and outs of how to run different pieces of software and like, oh, you've got to run this toolkit and everything. People just want to understand something simply. Like me on anything else that I'm not like a mad expert in. I think it's ridiculous when all this swapping, because if Lando was to win this race right now, I think it's a joke. I think it's a joke. Welcome, Crazy Aid. I guess they guaranteed. Yeah, the no undercut came with a legal cast iron guarantee. It came with an actual warranty. They indemnified it. They actually indemnified Lando Norris. Yeah, somewhere in Australia there was just a small explosion. And it wasn't a nuclear Armageddon, it was Mark Webber combusting. So just to confirm, Verstappen is 20 seconds ahead, which is insane. Lando's in P2, Piastri in P3, Charles Leclerc P4. Joe Lando came in ahead. Yeah, but I really don't like this. Maybe it's because I'm an actual... I'm a racing driver. Like, from a racing driver's perspective, I don't like this. Piastri's not going to overtake now. He's a second half behind. Snowliner says it proves, this is an allegation, but it proves yet again that McLaren can't do anything without cheating. I rest my case. Chat, we're going to stay live after this race because I want to make sure I got my thoughts right. PHV is the politics of the sport. Tenzeg, imagine if Lando works out and gives it back to Oscar. If Lando was to give that back right now, if Lando was to say to Oscar, this doesn't feel right, I'm going to give it back, Lando would go so high in my estimations. Osroyd, the team made a mistake, you don't then contrive a result. Michael, I'm Jack's angry spleen, but yeah, McLaren really prefer Lando because it's marketability. Red, do it, it's for the high business. And so yeah, Verstappen, by the way, the standings got desynced today, but Verstappen is about to win the race. Just to be clear, I'll let you know when I see it. Lahire, it's stupid. Oscar did not have to give that position back for no reason. Snow Knight and Lando should definitely give the place back. And Joe Exotics, now you would say he has no backbone, Lando can't win. Oh, Papaya, what even does Papaya rules even mean? So I think Verstappen wins, by the way, although for some reason I'm on board with Piastri. I think this is a big talking point. Lando comes in P2, and Piastri comes in P3, and I'm not ending the stream. I'm going to be letting you know everything that happens here after. Drizzle is a team sport, don't overthink it. No. I'm literally not overthinking it. It isn't right to slow down that much and give a position because someone had a bad pit stop. Board Forever maxed his pace as well today. Brian says, why should Lando surrender the position? He didn't. Piastri surrendered the position. Cassia Afigogo, athletes at this level lose control at some stage and higher ups call the shots. Steve said it's not a team sport at all. There's different ways of looking at it. The way I look at it is like, I want to look at the end result of a race after 1.5 hours, and I want to be like, you know, yes, there's luck involved and there's bad luck involved, but taking into account, this is who did best in the race. I don't want to imagine I'm not here. Imagine I'm working today or something, and I read the race results after on the news. I don't want to have to second guess and be like, oh, okay, but maybe there was team orders here. I just want to, like, imagine if Lando had won this race and the headlines around the world are like, Lando wins, etc. Lando P1. That's not the reality of it. The reality of it, let's be honest, is McLaren messed up a pit stop, which can happen at any time for any driver, and because of that, they asked their other driver to give the position. That's the beginning and end of it. There's actually no much more than that. Professor, I don't understand why they pitted Oscar first. Again, nonsensical decision by the pit wall. Fraser, but they did the opposite in Hungary and that was fine. Yeah, also, they're also opening up Lando to a lot of hate now. Like, a lot of people are going to hate Lando for this. It's going to feed into their Lando agenda. Joey, McLaren decided that they want to be fair, not you coming behind them when it's a pit stop. Well, it seems like they gave either driver the opportunity to decide on pit strategy. The drivers then executed it. Yeah, let me put it like this, okay? If a lapped car had been slow in getting out the way, and because of that Lando had got overtaken, would they have said to Piastri and give it back because Lando was unlucky because a lapped car was slow? Chat, what do you think about that? Let me know. Professor, I don't blame Lando at all. It's more McLaren. Yeah, I think Lando will get the blame, but I think this is down to McLaren. Ricky said it's not fair if they're not allowed to undercut. I don't understand, like, no undercut. Like, Hujan spamming him at McLaren. Clearly wants to talk a lot about McLaren. Gamblers got screwed. I don't. To be honest, I don't really care about gamblers. There's a whole other issue there, but I don't personally care too much about all that. But I can imagine why they'd be annoyed for completely separate reasons. This makes F1 a joke. This is why I'm not into wrestling, and now F1 is becoming a fake motorsport. They didn't want Oscar to undercut. No, I think what they said is that, yeah, they don't want Oscar to drive too slow either. They also only had this artificial luxury because the other cars were so far behind. As Verstappen gets out the car, sprints to his team, jumps all the way over. He's over the barrier. He's almost taken out Helmut Marko. Ilya, I remember you said in the interview once Verstappen as a GOAT. Yeah, he's in the GOAT conversation for sure. Dark Cloud, yeah. Omar saying McLaren are clowns. Okay, I need to put this in a simple question we can answer. So let me explain what happened here. The order of the drivers, after a lot of hard battling, as Lando gives a little smirk, that's going to be interpreted. The order of the drivers in the race was Lando Norris was ahead of Oscar Piastri. For some reason, they pitted Oscar Piastri first. Okay. Now, according to their normal pace, Lando would have then pitted and come out ahead of Oscar. Because of a bad pit stop, Oscar actually Lando came out behind Oscar. Do you think it's fair or unfair with what McLaren did, which is then they asked Oscar to give the position back? Is that fair or unfair? You might have seen the smirk as well, Professor. What's the Verstappen 80-second gap to Tsunoda. Just destroyed him. Bernardo says fair. Ilya says unfair. Corey unfair. Michael unfair. Lupin fair. Sizex unfair. Ricky unfair. Radomir unfair. Tenzeng is stupid. Ray, the thing you missed is that if you read the comments after Lando wanted the box first, said no. Yeah, so Lando takes, but he had an indemnity, it turned out. Sizex unfair. Namlet fair. Meant unfair. Professor, I think the pit stop, yeah. Dutch says, is that okay? Hamish says unfair. Martin unfair. Didi, honestly, I feel like McLaren is favouring Oscar. Prove me wrong. What just happened? Good boy, what was the question? Worth paying attention? This is why I can be a teacher. I just wouldn't have the patience. Blim's unfair. Liberal fair. Evan fair. Jeff unfair. Podcast, if it was Friday, I'm saying unfair. Christian fair. It's definitely mixed, right? It's definitely mixed. Ray Giga unfair. Jason unfair. Anton unfair. Stuart unfair. Paul Kemp fair. Udo unfair. Anna ridiculous. Do you mean unfair, Anna? Quentke unfair. Mohammed fair. Joe, both drivers agreed to prior rules. McGurkin unfair. What's Oscar saying? Hang on.
Tried something different using the...
Let me know what he says. See what he says. We can laugh about it. He says, interesting at the end, but it's okay. I wonder if Oscar's not that bothered about it because he feels he's just going to beat Lando over the course of the season. It's all kind of irrelevant. And how much of a G does Oscar Piastri look like if he wins this championship over Lando, given everything he had to do for Lando last year? And what's happening now? Alright, I'm going to listen to Lando.
I have in mind, did you leave the...
I don't think there was a Verstappen time penalty, unless someone's seen one. I don't think there's a Verstappen time penalty. It's still 80 seconds to Tsunoda. But yeah, honestly, Oscar in his interview, he didn't seem that bothered about it. He was like, yeah, whatever. I think he knows that as long as he stays that close, it's not changing the championship. Well, let me ask about it. terrible questions. Nico Rosberg's in town, and utterly softball questions, like ridiculous. Didn't even really ask him about it. What nonsense. It looks like a penalty was served. Did Ocon pit at the end or something? Yeah. By the way, did Ocon do the whole... Did Ocon only pit on the last lap? Did he do the whole race and then pit on the last lap? My point is, Piastri's penalty was his fault. The pit stop was not Lando's fault. Cassia, this is why F1 is called a rolling circus. Liberal, I will laugh so hard if Norris wins the championship, and these points are the reason why. Oh... Yeah, Oscar Piastri, honestly, it's kind of like when I won my latest karting championship, and like when you win a championship, you have rivals and you have ups and downs in the championship. Like it's really, I would love if everyone could like enter a championship and like go through that. It's like it's incredible. And like at some point, and I haven't won championships and I've won championships, right? At some point, sometimes when the other guy is just like has bad luck and it's still, you know, it doesn't phase him, or you perceive it doesn't phase him, it's really morally crushing. And when I won this championship, I had some really bad luck, and I just felt like ultimately I had the pace. So I just feel like Oscar is that guy at the moment. Oscar is that guy. By the way, Piastri asked for the spot back to call his team's bluff. They said if it wasn't fair... Sorry, do you mean that he preempted it and said, guys, do you want me to give it to Lando? Or did he say, can I have it back? What do you mean by that, Jeff? Enter championship, I drive a car 50 years 4 laps down. Have a look at my karting videos. They're on the Formula Fan TV. If someone puts the link in, you'll see Formula Fan TV is our motorsport community channel. What do you mean, Jeff? DD, hopefully... Honestly, I'm hoping Lando wins a championship. Joe, as a driver, I could take responsibility if it's my fault. Bad driving out team's control. Oh yeah, Silverstone. Yeah, haven't we all forgotten Piastri at Silverstone? Wasn't that a nonsense? Wasn't that... No, but didn't we all think... Can you remind me what happened at Silverstone with Piastri? Didn't he get the penalty speeding under safety car? And didn't we think that was a nonsense? Bono, do you only allow visually impaired who can only see captain to comment? Nope. I do not discriminate against the visually impaired at all. In fact, we are very welcoming towards the visually impaired. Professor, if Lando wins, Alan Jones will be sending Zach Brown some spiders for Christmas. I've had a spider infestation. I have giant house spiders. There's one up here. They're like this big. Silverstone was a joke, 100%. Silverstone was Piastri's fault. Oh, cool down, cool down. I think it's just highly awkward between them. They look like two kids. Honestly, by the way, can I just say, it makes them seem like kids. It makes it seem like they're being manipulated, and it almost makes it seem like they're... You know when you have like child actors, and like you feel like they're agents and their parents might be manipulating everything? It kind of gives this kind of dynamic where they're just kids, but really the grown-ups are manipulating everything, and like there's boardrooms and shareholders and important angry-looking adults, and ultimately they're just pulling the strings. That it gives that kind of perception for me, because right now in the cooldown room it's like two kids. Verstappen enters. The big dog.
The big straight one this fun.
Welcome, Bono. Michael, Lando got lucky in Silverstone. In Hungary, he dropped his start once again, then pulled the Hail Mary. Professor, this feels like the cooldowns in 2015. To me, it doesn't feel like that. Hamilton and Rosberg didn't feel like kids. Hamilton and Rosberg, it felt like they were both adults. They were in their prime, and they were kind of two like alpha predators going head to head, and it was fantastic to watch. This feels like Lando and Oscar don't have any say. They're just fast drivers, but they're just essentially tools to further McLaren's gains, and they'll be told what to do. Like, back in the day, it didn't feel like you could tell what Nico Rosberg or Hamilton to do. It felt like they had more equity, in a sense, in the team. They weren't just two hired drivers. They were big players. But it makes me think now that Oscar and that could be very tarnishing for their reputation. Like, as someone said, if Lando wins it because of this, it will tarnish the whole thing. Like, Verstappen was tarnished massively because of Abu Dhabi 2021. Like, let's not forget. I think Verstappen has had to achieve so much to overcome that tarnishing. And even with the cost cap thing the year after, what he's doing now is overcoming that. If Lando or Piastri were to only win one championship, and they were one championship drivers, I think they will be in danger of being remembered as like McLaren had this fastest team, McLaren had all these corporate goals, and McLaren just pulled the strings of where they wanted people to pull over and pass over and everything like that. That's I don't know if anyone understands what I mean, but that's my worry about it. That you stop these drivers, especially because Lando is like one of the most experienced drivers in Formula 1 history. I don't know if anyone knows that. But he is one of the most experienced drivers in F1 in terms of races driven. But he still has the perception of being like, not necessarily a kid, but like of a junior driver, right? Very different to Max, for example. Like Max is like, he feels like he has equity in the team. Crazy image here to see Max splitting the McLarens on the podium. Kasia understands, meant being that's exactly the case. Even agree it makes sense. In the same way, and I'm sorry if I'm being too harsh to people, in the same way, when we think of Rubens Barrichello, despite everything he achieved and one of the fastest drivers and one of the most experienced F1 drivers of all time, when you think of Rubens Barrichello, you think of someone who was basically told where to sit and told where to stand. Right? Whereas when you compare in your head Juan Pablo Montoya and Rubens Barrichello. Now, I think they're pigeonholing Lando and Oscar in the Rubens Barrichello kind of one. Professor says Rubens at 40 at 15. Grant says wherever Zach is involved, things go silly. Or yeah, maybe you said you've hit the nail on the head there, and got maybe the most recent are Sergio Perez. Think of Sergio Perez at the end of his tenure at Red Bull, and that's why I'm so interested to see like, how are we going to perceive Sergio Perez when he's at Cadillac next season, because he became a meme. Do you remember in Suzuka when he was still sat in the car looking confused? Like he became a meme. He was a low-level employee of Red Bull Racing. Right? Welcome, Eagle Kart. Yeah, lots of tech. We got through it though. It's racing, not WWE. We need that crossover. It's all fun and games. Joe Exotic's again hitting it on the head. It's all fun and games till Oscar needs Lando and Lando goes, "Nah, you all right." By the way, if I was cynical, and I don't think I believe this to be true, but if I was cynical, as long as there's a 25-point gap between Lando and Oscar, by the last race, anything could happen. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. With all the nonsense that's happened so far, imagine if Oscar is leading the race, Lando is second, and the team tell Oscar you need to box the car. Can we just visualize that? Can we just visualize that? Oscar's 24 points ahead in the championship. He's winning the race in Abu Dhabi. Lando's P2, and the call comes in, Oscar, we need to box the car. Can you imagine? That is the only way Formula 1 can get anywhere close to Abu Dhabi 2021 drama. And like I've said, I think Formula One needs clicks. I think Formula One has hired so many people, has invested so much in probably agencies and whatnot, marketing spend. It cannot afford the engagement and the interest and the clicks in Formula One to drop or to even maintain at the current level. It needs to go back to Abu Dhabi 2021. So can you imagine if that happens? Kasha is like the passion and drive that has got drivers to where they are now has been stymied. It happens across many pro sports, leading in some place a player power type of movement. I think it's happened in tennis, hasn't it? I think the tennis players aren't happy about the calendar and they feel they have no say. And God, that will never happen, Kira. They feel they prefer Lando to win, but not at that level. We'll see you there. We'll see you there, 6th of December. I might be at... We'll see if I'm at Formula E, but... Yeah, thanks, Becky. Yeah, please do hit the like button and hit that subscribe. Ricky, stuff like that just makes the fans annoyed, lose interest. Honestly, I don't think they care that much. I think they probably identified the churn of a Formula One fan, and they see more in emerging markets to gain by breaking through into the news cycle more regularly. I don't think they care too much about losing. They probably think the hardest Formula One fans, they probably don't care about losing them to WEC. What they really want is the casual fan. There's a way, like I see in sim racing, it's way more casual fans than core fans. Giddy Formula was Ricardo back, not these Strolls and Lawsons. Professor, I don't think anything can stop Oscar, honestly. It's Formula One, anything can happen. And I feel like Lando would have gained more fans if he'd let Lando... I missed that. Yeah, I just... Oh, man. Man. I want to see Nico Rosberg. If I was McLaren, I wouldn't take any interviews. Bono seems like FA is only about money, business, not fans and sport. Welcome to 2025. But yeah, that is kind of insane, everyone. That's kind of insane. I'm just trying to process what's happened. Also, McLaren can't mess around too much if Verstappen's back. Does anyone know the maths? What if Verstappen wins the rest of the season, basically? Oh, McLaren. Eben, I never was a big Max fan, but this year seeing him get 3 wins against McLaren is very impressive. Yeah, I think he's doing a lot of career redemption. By the way, you can see your point on more clips on F1. Look what happened today. Yeah, exactly. But chat, I'm going to stay live for a little bit longer. If you want to put your big comments in, if you want to put your big, long comments from today or for like the rest of the season. See, for example, tennis, right? Tennis. Today, apparently, is the US Open men's final. I had no idea. It's the US Open men's final. I know that's a big deal. I know it's a Grand Slam. I had no idea. Tennis, if tennis on the back of Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Murray, if they had overexpanded the cost base of tennis, right, they wouldn't be able to survive at the current level of engagement, the current low level of engagement, right? They would need to build up these tennis players to be like the new Federers and whatnot. Even if they're not, in reality, it's irrelevant. It's what you market them as. Formula One has done that. Formula One, if you go back to 2016, that's a very different ball game. Or if you go back to 2015, that's a very different ball game to F1 in 2021. And I feel like the new F1 business with the movie and everything, fully paid, paid to wear and everything like that, Drive to Survive, it's all based on 2021 numbers. And the irony is, I think Stuart put your finger on it. If McLaren hadn't done that swap, I would much prefer, genuinely, I'm not paid off here, I'm not paid by anyone to say that thing. I would much prefer to be talking about Max Verstappen, this pace. Hang on, let's have a look at the pace. What does this mean for the season? Where's that come from? Is it just the rear wing? What's the gap with Tsunoda? I'd much prefer to be talking about what does this mean for McLaren now? Piastri, another win. What does this mean for Lando's mentality? Like, it's more bad luck. It's just what happens. I would much prefer to be talking about that kind of stuff. Angel Shimi was superior to his teammate. Yeah. Professor, if there's a couple of DNFs, Max does have a chance. Yes, indeed. Sky F1 team are on the podium, but frankly, I don't really care. I don't want to see them on the podium. I want to see them hunting down McLaren. That's the story right now. Also, no offence. That's pretty harsh, I won't say it. I don't think the Tifosi care too much about presents on the balcony. They want to see the Ferrari drivers. That's what makes you a Tifosi. If I was Ferrari, I'd bring out legendary drivers on the podium. McLarens. We don't want that one to stick for McLaren. We don't want it to stick. Right, chat. It's been incredible. I tell you what, I want to put a link into Formula Fan TV. So please, 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 if you want, I will do another reaction video to this, like I did last week. Please make sure you hit that link there. That's my other channel. It was called Kieran the Motorsport, same channel. You can see there's lots of content going on there now. I would really love it if you could head on over there and give a subscribe, and even just like leave a comment on a couple of videos, because I really want to build that one up. If we do more stuff with Formula E, I want to do a lot of the Formula E content on there. I want to get your questions to racing drivers on Formula Fan TV, and I want it to be like an honest, just like unbiased, independent space on motorsport. Yeah, thanks Igor. It's been a great stream. Welcome Hendrix. I think McLaren respect Lando more than Oscar as he's taken McLaren to the top. Yeah, I feel like Oscar's always going to be a bit of an outsider there, to be honest. Thanks, Bono. Even McLaren is actually doing something interesting. They're making people who never like Max now root for him just to beat McLaren. That's a really interesting point. That's a really interesting point there. Joseph, Schumacher was superior to his team because Ferrari built the team around him like what Red Bull did Vettel and Max. Thanks, Didi. Is it Singapore? Is it Baku next week? Is Baku next week? Or is there a gap? Is there a gap, chat, or is Baku next week? I'm not sure. See you everyone on the shorts feed. I'm going to end the shorts feed. Great having you there. See you next